Look, I know this feels a little confusing to us Chiefs fans who got used to Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and the offense taking things by storm every single year. But this team is kind of flipped on its head this year. The defense is leading the 7-2 Chiefs, who sit atop the AFC this season, now going into the bye. What they've done this season has been incredible behind Steve Spagnuolo and the youth movement in Kansas City. They have the youngest defense in the NFL, and right now they are fifth in total expected points added per play on defense, which means they're not really allowing many points, and they're third in expected points added per per pass on the defensive side. So what they're doing right now with their young secondary, with the way they can change the picture behind these offenses, has been able to catapult the Chiefs to a 7-2 record, where they now go into a bye week where the offense might be able to actually figure some things out. So welcome in to the RGR Football Channel. My name is Daniel Harms, senior film analyst here, and we're going to get into this, one of the best defenses in the NFL, who just stomped the Miami Dolphins, the best offense in the NFL in Germany. Make sure before we get into that, if you're new, hit the sub button and allow me to earn a like from all of you as we break down the Chiefs defense against the Miami Dolphins. This is going to be a fun one. Let's jump in, guys, because again, I got to tell you, watching the Chiefs defense this game was just so much fun, and they were flying to the football. This is the first drive of the game, and we noticed that Chamari Connor is on the field, okay? So for the Chiefs defense, they come out in this base package, but it's nickel. So you have Chamari Connor playing down inside the line close here, almost like a pseudo linebacker, where you have 1, 2, 3 linebackers technically on the field. And since Chamari Connor is more of that big body safety that they want to have on the field, and those 3 safety looks, it's like they're playing base defense but nickel, because you technically have 5 defensive backs on the field. So what they were able to do here is really, it's such a cool design. Again, the Miami Dolphins do a great job of designing a lot of their plays well here. And so they're just going to take Tyreek Hill and they're going to jet motion him across the formation. They're going to try to move the defense this way, and then they want to run the other way, and they're going to lead block with Ingold this way, and then obviously have Raheem Mostert follow him out here. And what you're going to notice from Chamari Connor is he's going to come downhill and meet this block. So he's going to come downhill, meet the block head on from that fullback, and just set the edge. Then watch the Jarius Sneed as well, because this cannot be misstated from the Chiefs side of the ball. The point of emphasis was put to not let them set the edge. So look, Chamari Connor is already in the backfield. He just triggers downhill. He's like, I'm coming to get something here. I'm going to do whatever I can. You've also got Drew Tranquill scraping across here, Leo Chanel scraping across, and then L'Jarius Sneed working to the outside of the block from the wide receiver. You're not getting to the outside, Raheem Mostert, no. And then they have the follow to the running back and follow to the play. So everything that the Chiefs put into work this week coming into the Germany game was put on display early in this game and throughout the first quarter, where they held the Miami Dolphins scoreless in the first half for the first time since 2021. That's how good they were on defense in this game. And these first couple of plays, we're going to show about the run game and how the Miami Dolphins want to stress the edge, okay? But look at this. No one's getting anything here. Like the first half, they had really struggled to find the run game here. And they're going to do a nice little kind of stop back motion gap here from number 83, who's going to stop here, and then he's going to come out and block. So what does this do? Well, one, they still want to move those linebackers from right to left, or it's typically just the one in the middle of the field here. You have Jack Cochran, who's on the field, but he's come down over here. And then Leo Chanel is over here. You've got like 5 down defensive linemen here with 1 linebacker in the middle of the field. And this kind of works out, at least in the Miami Dolphins' eyes. They're like, we want to get to the edge. So we see one player that can actually get there in Drew Tranquill. So we got to get to the second level. We got to be able to get out there. So this play, again, it's going to be kind of a wind back. You're going to have this wide receiver is going to come back out and lead block. Then they're also going to really almost pull, but they're going to really just lead block these guys, this tight end and then this tackle as well. They're really going to try to get to that edge there with Raheem Mostert out of the pistol formation. But again, you're going to see the Chiefs defense consistently get down. Watch L'Jarius Sneed here once again, as he is everywhere on this defense. He's going to bait that wide receiver who's currently in motion into a little bit of into space here. So he's going to get down, get underneath that block. Leo Chanel follows with a great tackle. Again, consistently getting behind the line of scrimmage, diagnosing the run and attacking it downfield. He gets blocked by, doesn't really get blocked by him, but Braxton Berrios is the one that has to block him. He has to come down and block him here, and that's where you see the violence inherent in the system, as they say. You know, it doesn't work out for him. It's not going to work out for a smaller receiver like that on just a jackhammer that is Leo Chanel. He pushes him off, gets into pursuit, and then it's over from there. That's the thing, though. Look how many red jerseys were around that football. There were so many guys there. They're everywhere. They rallied to the football. They got downhill. They got after the Miami Dolphins offense, and they were just everywhere. Look, everyone's here. They're like, all right, you guys aren't going anywhere. All these players here, they're just coming at them. All of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different defenders for the Kansas City Chiefs got out to the edge there. And then we're going to see them try to work their quick passing game and get Tyreek Hill on screens. And that's what they want to do. They want to work those screen plays. But look at how they flow to the football. Look at him just get downhill. But this goes even back to just the formation itself. The Chiefs coming out showing 2 high safety here. So you have Cook and Reed. Miami does always a good job of coming out in what looks like a basic formation. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 wide receiver to the right. You have Ingold, who's going to be this detached tight end / fullback who's going to motion to the outside here, but he's going to block. So they end up making a 3-by-1 formation on the left-hand side, and watch how the Chiefs are going to rotate off of it. So this is how they're doing. They just want to get a little screen here to get to Tyreek Hill. And then watch the Chiefs move as the motion comes. This was a huge part of the Chiefs defense this game, was adjusting to the motion. So you have Justin Reed right here, who's going to trigger downhill. Also, watch again, the eyes from Willie Gay here. It's going to be important because he's going to play a role in this as well, who just looks at Tyreek Hill. He's like, okay, I see what you're doing. So he comes down here. He's going to get around the block from Ingold right there. As he goes around, he's going to help bring him down. Obviously, he doesn't get the tackle himself, but everybody there triggered to that football. Mike Dana on the outside edge here sees that coming down. All right, I come over here. L'Jarius Sneed gets down, and Justin Reed does a great job of following that up. So again, triggering downhill, recognition, and being able to adjust when the offense is shifting is how they were able to do this. And then they have a little bit of fun with Steve Spagnuolo and everybody else here. Willie Gay, again, coming downhill, making everything happen. But this is how they were able to really get things going. Miami is just going to run a little bit of a wheel out here. So you have Tua, who's going to fake this, and he's going to work back this to the left-hand side of the field. And they want to get down. They want to get a down the field throw. So they're going to work outside here, who's going to come out to the outside and really kind of step up there. I believe that's Cedric Wilson. And then they have the tight end who's going to release, kind of run a dig over the middle of the field. Tyreek Hill is going to be coming out here and also running deep down the field. They kind of get really encapsulated here, really, really close to each other, which makes it easier for the Chiefs to, 1, figure it out, and also to be in the same spot, to be in position to make this not happen. But this all comes back to they want to consistently be able to do this. So that the motion is going to be from Cedric Wilson. They're also going to bring a blocker here from the wide receiver side. And then you obviously have the release from the running back. How are the Chiefs going to match this? Well, they do a little bit of a cover 3 blitz, and they're going to blitz Willie Gay off the left-hand side here, but they're going to do a little cover 3 robber. So you have 2 deep safeties here. You even have Cook, who's the up safety, if you will. But watch what happens here as they rotate. They're going to rotate into this cover 3 shell from the outside corners. Trent McDuffie here and L'Jarius Sneed. So what happens is you're going to have you have Brian Cook, who's going to take back to the middle of the field. Then you have widening here, and then you have Reed come down here to be a robber. So this is how this shift looks. You have the right-hand safety on the defensive side, Brian Cook, go back to the middle of the field. Then Justin Reed drops down to take away anything over the middle of the field. And this is how they do that. Again, no movement from the linebackers on the play action fake. And right here, you get a free rusher. Boom, boom. Fantastic job with the defensive blitz here, but also Justin Reed coming to the middle of the field. This is exactly what they wanted. They wanted to be able to bring this down here. Now, with the widening of L'Jarius Sneed, it puts that first read to the outside off of Tua's radar, and then he's trying to work his way back. And when he's doing that, you have multiple players in your face in Mike Dana and then Willie Gay. A fantastic job, guys. This is a really good cover 3 robber blitz that they end up running off of, and even Willie Gay, who's kind of paying attention to the running back, it doesn't end up mattering. He just kind of waits to see what he does and then blitzes. Boom. They pull that guard from the left-hand side to the right, and then they just both split it. Just a really great job. Really great disciplined defense from the Kansas City Chiefs there. And then this is all about Willie Gay. Like, this was by far Willie Gay's best game as a Kansas City Chief, and you will not be able to tell me otherwise. His play recognition really came off the charts in this game. It's going to be another one of the run plays where they're going to try to take away a player from the left-hand side and motion Tyreek Hill this way out to the left and try to widen that defense and really get some attention of them going this direction. They want to move them this way. Instead, they come back and run the ball to the opposite side with Raheem Mostert. But Willie Gay right there coming off, screaming into the backfield. Excuse me, that's Jeff Wilson Jr. Or no, sorry, that was Salvan Ahmed. They have 3 different guys that really doesn't really matter all that much who it was. But watching Willie Gay play to this level, watching that hole open up, you can really see how he was identifying. Right, we're going to see right here with Willie Gay, you're going to have a little bit of a slide to the right-hand side of the defense from the offensive line, but it's because Chris Jones is going to kind of crash down. When you have that, it takes the attention, and it's going to open up an entire gap. And then you have, Karlaftis going to take this, set the edge. He doesn't want to get beat to the edge, so he sits there, and he's going to widen this gap here. And then this is Willie's job. Just go right down in between. Do what you can there. Get downhill. They widen this B gap, and that's all it is. Chris Jones doing a great job taking attention from that offensive line, letting Willie get downhill, and he makes a play. It's fantastic recognition. It's fantastic job up front of getting Willie Gay free and making sure nobody can get to the second level and get eyes on him and get hands on him. And then execution, come downhill, make that tackle for loss. A huge loss from the Miami Dolphins offense. A great job. And this is just, I had to throw this in here because it's just, again, Trent McDuffie being fantastic and them understanding what's going on. I think that how the Chiefs attacked the offense and recognized these quick screens and these quick routes from the Miami Dolphins shows you how well coached for this game and how well prepared they were. Again, this is all just off of Trent McDuffie's eyes. So he's going to look initially here to Tua, and then he's going to just see Tyreek Hill go on that route. And when he sees it, it's triggered. The Miami Dolphins offense runs what they run, and they're kind of predictable with it. That's been said multiple times. And they just run a little jet sweep to block out here from Cedric Wilson, who's going to, like I said, he's going to end up trying to get around here to block upfield. And that leaves the inside for Trent McDuffie, again, to just come downhill and be what he is. Forcing fumbles. He's got 4 forced fumbles on the season, just continuing to find ways to get the ball back to the Chiefs. And then this is just incredibly just a great play from Mike Edwards and Brian Cook there. I just want to watch it one more time because the sound of how he played this, I don't even know what's going through his head. He's like, I get this ball here, but again, I'm not going to make the play. So, here you go. Here you go. You can have it. And then he hits 21 plus miles per hour with these long ass strides from Brian Cook. I loved that play. It was one of the best plays of the season, actually probably one of the best plays of the year, not just from the Chiefs defense, but overall. That was just a fantastic heads up play from Mike Edwards to Brian Cook after Trent McDuffie strips that ball from Tyreek Hill. So here we're going to look a little bit into the blitzes and how the Chiefs kept the Miami Dolphins in these 3rd and long situations and continuously attacked Tua Tagovailoa and forced them into having to make quick decisions when the play that he wants isn't there, or even when it is there. So this is the first one with Jalen Watson off the right-hand side. The Chiefs come in a little bit of a cover 4 blitz in this play. So you have L'Jarius Sneed's going to come out this way. They have Brian Cook there, and I believe they drop Justin Reed outside here, and then no, sorry, excuse me, that's not right. They're gonna have the rotation from Mike Edwards, who's gonna come out here, and Justin Reed comes down this way to replace Jalen Watson. So it has this cover 4 shell look to it, but look how they get to it. They have no way of knowing that's what's gonna happen. Again, you're gonna send the blitz here. He's gonna rotate down. You rotate back this way, so you have 2 different safeties that are gonna rotate out and change the picture after the snap. And so again, you're going to also bring Drew Tranquil here, and then they drop George Karlaftis on this side here, which is another area altogether, which is changing that picture. So you have George Karlaftis and Chris Jones on that right-hand side of the offense. So they are going to call a shift play, a shift of the offensive line to protect that direction. And when you do that shifting, you have multiple players on this side. They're gonna twist. They bring Charles Omenihu down, take the attention, and then they're gonna have Mike Dana rush to the inside. So they actually get Mike Dana as a free rusher up the middle of the field. They take the attention of these 2 offensive linemen on the right-hand side of the defense. These 2 guys are gonna take the attention, and then Jalen Watson is free and clear to the quarterback. Nobody touches him because, again, when you have Drew Tranquil coming down, the running back now has responsibility to Drew Tranquil, and they open up that gap beautifully for Mike Dana to loop around. It's gorgeous. This is the exact kind of execution that Steve Spagnuolo has instilled in this front. And when you have so much attention going to Chris Jones and the blitzer up the middle, you get a free rusher off the right-hand side and the left-hand side of the offensive line, that it creates all of this confusion. They do get the play that they want. Tyreek Hill's open, like on this play. But he'd have to throw this ball like now. He'd have to be throwing it now. Instead, he has to step up. And again, they do get Tyreek Hill open. And that's just goes to show you how incredibly quick and getting downhill and using that youth and speed that Steve Spagnuolo has been able to do this year to get plays like that for negative plays. Because again, if you move Tua off his spot, you're going to be able to create bad throws, less accurate throws, and sometimes ducks from Tua, because he's not the best throwing the ball down the field on the move. He's just not. Another one here with a little bit of a simulated pressure. For those of you who don't know, a simulated pressure is when you bring the same amount of players, 4, but they do it in a different way. So the Chiefs are only going to bring 4 actual rushers on this play, and they still get a free rusher, but the way that they designed it. It's a fantastic play here on 3rd down and 3rd and long to get the ball to come out quickly, and then Jeff Wilson Jr. drops it. So the Chiefs end up playing a little bit of a cover 1 man coverage behind it, okay? And that this is just going to be a really quick play from Miami because they don't have a choice. So Jeff Wilson's going to come out here, run just to the just this little angle route. On the right-hand side, you have a little bit of an out route here, and that's pretty much where the ball goes to. It's one area because he's got George Karlaftis running in his face. So the Chiefs have Mike Dana and Chris Jones on the right-hand side of their line, the left-hand side of the offensive line. And they're going to drop Mike Dana into coverage. They're going to then have Justin Reed, who's playing that dime backer role. He's going to blitz. And then this is where you see that simulated pressure because he's coming up to the line of scrimmage like they're bringing 5. They drop out Mike Dana, but the offensive line, guess what, is also shifting to that side to help out with Chris Jones. And they do that with Charles Omenihu, who's now coming down on this side. He's just going to come upfield. And so you have rush, take the attention of the right-hand side of the offensive line. They go this way, and then you have George Karlaftis screaming off the edge, still rushing 4, but you're able to window dress it enough and change the picture enough. Right there. Boom. George Karlaftis is free the right-hand side of the offensive line, free to the quarterback. And then again, you've got man coverage. You've got Mike Dana going into man coverage. You've got man coverage here, a little bit of a robber in the middle of the field from Drew Tranquil. You got man coverage and then man coverage on the running back. Just a really great job of simulating that pressure. Steve Spagnuolo doing another fantastic job of moving guys around, putting them in positions to get downhill quickly, and then execution. Again, Tranquil looks like he's mugged up too, right? He's coming over here like, yeah, guess what? I'm going to blitz too. So we're going to actually show more than 5 guys blitzing, 5 guys coming. We're going to show 6, but we're only going to bring 4. Ugh. I love what he's doing right now. He is just not only in his bag, they're executing. The players are executing so well. The will to want to play like this and the will to want to win football games on the defense is phenomenal. It's at an all-time high right now, and they're still doing it with Jalen Watson and Josh Williams, who haven't really figured out how to play this season. They've been the kind of the bad players on that side of the ball. They've been really up and down and having to go back and forth. They haven't figured out their third corner yet, and they've been able to do that without them doing that, without them having that. So this is the last player we're going to talk about, and this is the Trent McDuffie blitz. You're going to see him right here on the right-hand side of the offensive, or the left-hand side of the offensive line. He's going to blitz. And then once again, this is blitzing into that movement. So the Miami Dolphins are continuously trying to shift protection. So you have Chris Jones. You have Charles Omenihu on the right-hand side of the defense here, the left side of the offensive line. So you have these players here. So again, they're going to shift protection. They're going to shift that protection to the left. All right. How can we take up 3 players, 3 offensive linemen with 2 guys and get a free rusher? Well, they're going to stunt. They have right here, they're going to just have Chris Jones come up the middle of the field, and then Charles Omenihu come around, which again is going to take the attention of the offensive line. It's going to all these 3 players right here that are going to end up blocking are going to be taken up by 2 players. When you have a guy like Chris Jones and Charles Omenihu on the same side of the defense, it brings a lot of gravity to it. So how, again, do you bring this? Trent McDuffie is one of the best blitzers in football, period. One of the best blitzers in football, and I think he's gotten better than L'Jarius Sneed at this point. But they're also using the scene on the outside. They're not blitzing him a ton more because they don't have to, because Trent McDuffie's been so good. And the Chiefs on the back end are running more of a cover 2 shell. So you have cover 2, which means L'Jarius Sneed is going to kind of be a flat defender here. They're also going to have Jalen Watson come out to the flat there as well. And they bring out 1, 2, 3. So it's got that cover 2 feel to it. And they're still going to blitz Trent McDuffie, and then they're going to drop George Karlaftis into coverage like they like to do. So here comes that twist, like I said, and then you get the free rusher off the edge. With with George Karlaftis, again, being in coverage, coming into there, they have a really great job from, excuse me, I'm just blanking on his name. I'll get there. From Tershawn Wharton to just get downhill into that gap that they create because of it. It's just so fun. What I can stress it as much as I want to, but you have this offensive lineman at a loss because again, George Karlaftis is going to be dropping into coverage, and he knows that. Tershawn Wharton knows it, so he's going to get into this B gap really quickly. When you they have the offense, this guard take a step towards Charles Omenihu. So excuse me. See, I keep wanting to say Charles Omenihu. That's why I was tripping over my words. He takes a step towards Tershawn Wharton, and he takes a step the opposite direction. So boom, he's into that gap, splits the defense, and then ends up getting a sack. This defense is firing on all cylinders. What they're doing right now is special. With the personnel they have, Steve Spagnuolo is in his bag every single week, dialing up different pressures, different looks. And against the best offense in football, they were able to completely shut them down from what they want to do. They established the speed, they established the pace, and I believe they forced Miami into an average distance on third down of 10 or more yards. That's insane. And when you're able to do that, you get plays like this with the sack. Just a fantastic job of Steve Spagnuolo mixing in his blitzes, twisting guys, being able to take up offensive linemen with 3 offensive linemen with 2 players. And then you have Trent McDuffie forcing fumbles, blitzing off the edge, even Jalen Watson blitzing off the edge and free. So all the different things that they're able to do comes down to Steve Spagnuolo and the will to understand and execute the defense from the players. They're able to change so many looks on the back end because these guys are smart and they have accepted what Steve Spagnuolo's challenge has been. They've been exceptional this year at changing the picture behind the offense after the snap and being able to get these different exotic blitzes off. And it's allowed Steve Spagnuolo to not have to blitz as much in the past. He blitzes now sparingly, considering how much he used to blitz. And now it's so much more efficient and effective than it really has ever been in the past. They can win with 4, they can win with 5, they can win with 6. They can do it so many different ways. And what we're seeing right now in Kansas City is truly a special unit. I hope you guys enjoyed this film breakdown, earned a like for the channel. And make sure if you're new and just joining us for the first time, hit that sub button and the bell to get everything that we do here every single week. We'll be with you guys again on Thursday with Gary, then back on, not back on Friday for the game plan because there isn't a game this week, but we will have something for you on Sunday Night Live as we usually do. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the bye, and we'll see you guys next time.